Hey all, Heretic here, and Hearthstone Battlegrounds quests are launching tomorrow, and they just dropped the patch, which is going to give us all the relevant information to the quests and all the cool, exciting new things we're going to get for rewards and what we have to do to earn them. Now, some of these quests have changed, so we're going to go over basically all the quests, and I'm going to cut it into sections so you can skip around depending on what you want and what you don't know. Now, we did preview last week some data mine quests, and it looks like they're all in exactly as we had found data mine. So I will be saving all the information about the person who leaked it. That way, the next time they get us some leaks, we can get out there earlier and we can find out all the cool stuff way before anybody else did. Because we found this stuff about a week ago. Well, everybody else is just discovering some of it right now. So let's jump in. Let's take a look at quests and get excited. Right off the bat, we're starting at what are battleground quests, and it is basically an explanation of what quests are, when you earn them, how they trigger, what they do, but they're the same as they were about 10 months ago when quests were put in the last version. So guess what? I've already got a video for that, so I'm going to throw a link at the end of this. So if you don't know how quests work and you're completely baffled by them, definitely take a look at that video because it's going to help you know what to do. We start with burn the evidence, sell 9 minions. Once again, it's going to be a range. That's fine, easy. Pressure the authorities, get your warband attack to 30. Same idea, basically the same as the Queen Azshara hero, except instead of 25 for that, you're going to do 30 here. And once again, range, round up the suspects, destroy a number of minions. We're not worried about that, easy stuff. First, in the group of returning quests, we have Unlikely Duo. It's going to play a number of minions from 2 selected types. So say Quilboar in Murlocs or Elementals in Max. They're going to be random. You play that number, you complete it. Invite the quest. Buy X number of minions. Just for Prince, add a number of cards to your hand. Easy. Cry for help. Battle cry. This one looks fun, but there are sometimes some of these requirements have 10 battle cries, and that's a little hard to pull off. Exhume the bones, trigger X number of death rattles, easy, but friendly death rattles. Track the footprints, refresh Bob's to Evern a number of times, easy again. Assemble the lineup, summon minions. Now remember, that counts as minions you play during your shot phase and one summoned during combat, so that one's pretty easy to complete with the right tribes. Find the murder weapon, increase a friendly minion stats X number of times. Reenact the murder, have X number of friendly minions die, another easy one. Sort it all out. This one is tough. Be really careful about this one because this can be painful. And this is order your minions from their lowest to highest attack left to right. So, you're putting your 1 attack to the front, and if you have a 30 attack all the way on the right, if this is required for you to do 4 turns, it has to be an amazing reward, and you have to feel really confident with your hero to pull this off. Follow all the money. This is an easy one. Spend gold. Not hard. Hire an investigator. End your turn with unspent gold X number of times. This is another one you have to be careful of. Leaving gold on the table is usually bad. The reward has to at least be decent. And if it's, 3 or 4 turns, that's a long time to be wasting gold. So make sure that reward is really worth it. Crack the case, have friendly minions attack X number of times. Once again, very simple. These are all the quests that are back. There is one quest not coming back that seems to be unmask the culprit, lose or tie 3 times. Thank you. I hate this quest. A quest that encourages you to throw combat to get rewards feels really bad when it was 3 or 4 combats you had to lose or tie. That was a tough thing to do. I mean, you'd either make yourself weak on purpose, or you just, if you lose 4 in a row, you're in a lot of trouble. So I really didn't like this quest because it's not starting till turn 4. I mean, if it was turn 1, okay, maybe even then it doesn't feel good. But starting on turn 4, lose or tie 3 or 4 combats is bad. And in this section, we're going to cover all the quests that we talked about last week. So if you've already seen these, skip ahead. There'll be chapters, so you don't have to hear me talk about the ones you might have watched in the previous week. We start with Icicle. Give a minion in your hand +3 attack, avenge 1. Hey, guess what? That's pretty damn good, folks. Buff the hell out of a cleave. Buff the heck out of your divine shield. Are you adding cards to your hand at random? Now they're already buffed. Easy sell, great quests. Soul Pact, after you play a minion, give the other minions of the same type +1/+1. Do you have any question whether or not that's good? Of course that's good. That means you're playing one tribe and you're going nuts with it. Pretty cool quest. Sturdy Shard, at the end of your turn, give your minions with taunt +1/+2 for each taunt minion you control. That is insane. Do you want a taunt comp? Do you want a walking fort? Do you notice it says end of turn? That means Drakari Enchanter. This is going to be nutty and a lot of fun. Doppelganger's Locket. After each combat, discover a non-golden minion from your last opponent's warband. It keeps enchantments. That is nuts. You can find synergy. You get to discover. It's like you're a reverse Savjz because it's after combat. That's if you are Savjz, you're stealing in the front, then you're stealing in the back, but the one on the back has all the enchantments on it. That's just a good quest. Timeline Accelerator. At the start of your turn, get 2 accelerators that transform a minion into one from a higher tavern tier. That's great. They took away our minion that did that, but now you can get a quest that lets you do that. You get a bad triple, evolve it. You're sitting on tier 4, make them into 6s. These are great. Invigorating Conch. When you buy a minion, give its stats to a random friendly minion. Okay, think about this one. You can go absolutely nuts. You start going APM, you start cycling like crazy, and every time you buy a minion, it's gonna give the stats. Well, what if you've been doing Elemental? What if you just, however you buff the shop with your hero power, huge value. You're just throwing stats left and right. Going to be a big tempo. The sooner someone completes that, the more they can just roll completely nuts. Boom Squad. I love this one. Avenge 3. Deal 10 damage to the highest health enemy minion. This one is only offered in games with undead or beasts in the lobby. Not sure about that requirement, but I do like this quest reward that it's not like you target random minions. It's targeting the highest health. So that means it's going to be hitting the big minion. It's not going to be sniping your Tituses and whatever little buff minions you have. It's just going to go right for the big one, which means it's not as likely to kill it also. So it's not too overpowered. It's actually striking a good balance and effectiveness. Divine Armor. At the end of your turn, give the leftmost minion in your hand +6 and Divine Shield. I'm sorry. Did Handlock need more buffs? Because I feel like they just got more buffs. Nasty. Map of the Unknown. After you play a minion of a type you don't control, give a friendly minion of each type +2/+1. Well, you're going Menagerie. If you get this quest reward, you're cycling like crazy and buffing like nuts. Does anyone else miss Tea Master Theatar? Because this is the quest to his house. I love it. I want this one today. Bloodsoaked Tome. Minions in Bob's Tavern cost 2 gold. Hey, do you want to be Millhouse but better? Because now you're Millhouse. Your minions cost 2, but your refreshes cost 1. Now the dev comment says this will be one of the rare rewards. So if you're offered it, you definitely want to try playing this. But holy, this is going to be bonkers fun. Scepter of Guidance. Another good one. Bob's Tavern always offers 2 randomly selected type when refreshed. So what that means is, let's say it's Beasts. Every time you refresh a shop, there's going to be 2 Beasts guaranteed in the shop. No more rolling, never finding your tribe, at least getting 2. Now you might never get the one you want, but you're going to get 2. Transm-ogre-Fication? I can kind of say it once, let alone 3 times fast. But the end of your turn, set your lowest health minion stats equal to your highest health minion's stats. Bonkers. You can go nuts. Anything that's scaling on the board is going to scale up your shop 1 minion at a time. You're going to be huge. Blood Gems shops, Quillbore. Oh my, this is going to be insane. This is going to be completely out of control. If you high roll on this early, you're going to do very, very well. Endless Blood Moon. Your Blood Gem gives an extra +2/+2 at the start of your turn. Add 2 to your hands. That means your Blood Gems, without any buffing, base, give +3/+3, and you get 2 free a turn. That's pretty good. And dev comment, I'm weird it even needs to be required, but this is only offered in games where Quillbore are in the lobby. Well, that's comforting. I'd be very confused if this was my quest reward and all I got were 2 Blood Gems a turn that gave +3/+3. Now, these new quests I just went over. I went over in my previous video because remember, we had these a week ago. They will be offered at twice the normal appearance rate. So we're going to see them a lot for the first few weeks. So it's going to be there a lot. We're going to get to see all these new ones, maybe some of them too much, but it's going to be super fun. I can't wait for the new quests. Now let's go take a look at the returning quest rewards and see if they hold a candle to the other ones we just looked at. Now there's a lot of these. We're going to hit them quick just for people who don't know them. Once again, there's going to be chapters and sections, so if you don't care, don't worry about it. Snicker Snack, at the end of your turn, trigger 2 friendly minion battle cries. Fantastic, easy, go. Stolen Gold, start of combat, make your left and rightmost minions gold. Now, remember also, if you're running Terragosa, that's a combat buff, it's permanent, just a reminder. Evil Twin, start of combat, summon a copy of your highest health minion. Taunt people, do you like making one big ass monster to just take everything? How about 2 of them for free every turn? And that leaves your 7th slot open, has a buff slot where you can just cycle cards. Thank you. Ritual Dagger, after a friendly minion dies, give it +4/+4 permanently. Hey, Beast players, I'm looking at you. This one definitely screaming your name. Anima Bribe, after you sell a minion, give its stats to a minion in Bob's Tavern. So if you know you're going to sell a couple things, you're going to put a bunch of stats on one minion. It's an interesting, basically this is the old Dancing Daryl. It's fun to play. Devils in the Detail, at the end of your turn, your left and rightmost minions consume a minion in Bob's Tavern. It's a quest reward. It's not too weak, but it's not exciting either. Smoking Gun, your minions have +4 attack. Hey, do you want to be Deathwing better than Deathwing? Play this. Cookbook, after you buy a minion, give it +1/+1 and upgrade this. So what this means is every single time you buy a minion, it gets +1/+1, and that upgrades +1/+1 permanently. So if you buy 10 minions in a turn, the last one will be getting the, +11/+11. And then it will continue and stay forever. They don't go away. It's a permanent buff. So on turn 7, if you complete this, on turn 14, your guys are getting like +25, +30 every time you buy it. So hey, this works pretty well with mechs, but let's face it, it works pretty well with anything. Just mechs are nice because you can magnetize them onto things. Mirror Shield, after each refresh, give a minion in Bob's Tavern +4/+4 in Divine Shield. A little random, but still can be fun. I'm not a huge fan of that one. Secret Sinstone, after you discover a card, get an extra copy of it. So let's say you triple, and let's say it's a Manton Queen. When you select Manton Queen, it's going to give you 2 copies of it. Simple, effective, works with different hero powers. So if you think of like Silas, if you think of Rat King, if you get this quest reward with certain heroes, it is very powerful, and with others, it's just good. Ghastly Mask is a usually difficult one to complete, but a lot of fun. Add a specific end of turn minion to your hand. Your end of turn effects trigger an extra time. And the dev notes also say this reward now includes some new minions that have been added to say an extra time instead of twice. So the extra time is important because if you think of cards that used to double things, how would that work with this? And now it's just an extra time. It's a good change. You're going to get extra triggers. Think when you get this quest, all the end of turn cards that are in your shop, because they really do change how you want to play the game. And hey, Cthulhu players, looking at you, this is an easy one you want. Theator's Parasol, at the end of your turn, give your rightmost minion +8 health. This is a combat buff. It's not too bad. Initially, it was always being used by Leapfrog boards. Leapfrogs are gone. I'm sure there will be builds for it still, but it's still a nice way to buff things up. Red Hand, at the start of your turn, give a minion in your hand +12/+12. You complete this one early. It is very effective. Good with mechs, good with a few things. It's just one of those where it depends on your particular board. Victim Spectre, after each combat, get a plain copy of the last minion that died. This one you have to be careful of, folks. Remember, if you're running any tokens, any crap minions, if you're playing mechs and beasts and you're kicking out a bunch of tokens, you don't want that last minion to be a token. I like this quest if I'm completing it quickly and if I'm playing a tribe like Murlocs or Naga, where, I don't have ever any tokens coming into play generally. Another hidden body. Discover a minion from your tavern tier. This can be earned endlessly. Want to caution you on this one. If you get into any type of APM play, please, I'm speaking from a lot of experience. This animation and sound take forever to trigger, at least in the previous version. And if they haven't changed it at all, definitely be careful of this one. Tiny Henchman, at the end of your turn, give +3/+3 to 3 friendly minions of Tavern Tier 3 or lower. This one is an interesting quest reward, but I'm not a huge fan of it. It's just kind of blah. If you can complete it super early is the only way I would take it, but there you go. Alter Ego, even tier minions in Bob Tavern have +7/+7. Swap to odds next turn. So every other turn, a different set of minions are going to getting +7/+7. It's good, it's solid. Completing it early is always better. Friends along the way, at the start of your turn, get 2 random specific minion types. So friends along the way is really fun. If it says Murlocs, that means at the beginning of every turn, you're going to get 2 random free Murlocs. And whatever tribe it may be, same rule applies. I'm not a huge fan of this quest reward, but Menagerie Mayhem, at the end of your turn, give your minions +1 attack for each friendly minion type. +1 attack. That's not bad, but in the scope of some of these rewards, imagine giving 4 minions +1/+1. You really feel like you're gaining anything of value. Pilfered Lamps, you only need 2 copies of a minion to make it gold. That's easy, folks. If it's easy to complete, if you think you can line up some stuff, you could easily complete this and get 5 triples immediately because you have 5 pairs. I've seen it happen. Make sure you have enough time when you complete this quest. Yogg-tastic Tasties. At the start of your turn, spin the wheel of Yogg-Saron. This is a fantastic reward. It is a lot of fun. Just remember, you can click on the screen during the spinning of the wheel and it will stop the wheel infinitely faster. So make sure you hit that button. The only thing about this quest is I love it. I will take it very often. It can kill you as much as it can help you. And if you don't know why, just give it a try. You'll find out. It's a lot of fun though. It's very random, but it's super, super fun. Wondrous Wisdom Ball occasionally gives helpful refreshes. This can be anything from copies of your board to a board full of utility minions to a bunch of tier 6 random things to things that are good for the tribe that you have the majority of. It's completely random. And sometimes it'll trigger every single roll, and sometimes you'll go through a shop phase, and it will trigger once. It drives you crazy sometimes. Essence of Xeris. Hate this one. At the end of your turn, get a Shifter Xeris. Shifter Xeris is a minion that at the end of every turn will turn into a random, well, I think it's end, it might be start of every turn, turns into a random minion, and it is very irritating. I don't like this card. It's going to give you sometimes Caligos on turn 4, like you complete it super fast, it gives you a shifter, and then look, turn 5, I start with a Caligos. And then other times it will give you Wrathweavers the entire time. It's random, so you never really know. Some people love it. Personally, I hate it. Hidden Treasure Vault. Start of your turn, gain +1 gold, upgrades each turn. This one is really cool. The only issue with this one is if you can't complete this super fast within a turn or 2, I would not do it. But if you can complete this, and I have seen people complete this on turn 4, it's nuts. Ethereal Evidence. At the start of your every turn, choose from 2 new rewards. So this one's pretty easy. You complete the quest, you get to choose. The issue with it is some of those rewards won't kick on to the next turn. So like if you choose the Wheel of Yogg-Saron reward, it won't spin immediately. It will wait to the next combat, till the end of the combat, to the start of your turn to spin. And that can be problematic if you're in trouble. So be careful of which ones you choose when they actually trigger. Volatile Venom. This is a lot of fun. Your minions have +7/+7, and they attack when they die horribly. So what this means is no matter what, when your minion attacks and it hits something, it will die. I don't care if you're 1000 with Divine Shield and you hit a 1/1, your minion dies. So if you do this quest reward, make sure you take as many possible tokens as you have. They're all getting +7/+7. This one is great for finishing second. And the reason why I say that is it does a lot of damage up front, but as the game goes farther, that +7/+7 matters less. And if you start looking into a turn 14+ game, +7/+7 doesn't mean much. So depends. You can complete this early and knock the lobby out by turn 11 or 12. I've seen it happen. It's awesome, but don't expect to get first if you don't knock people out early. The Golden Hammer. Spellcraft. Make a friendly minion golden until your next turn. There's not much to unpack there, folks. You're going to make one of your minions golden, friendly, not the shop. So get as much value as you can out of this, having a targeted gold card every turn. It's pretty good. Sinfall Medallion. After you play a minion, give 2 other friendly minions of its tavern tier +2/+2. There was a lot of people who would like playing this at like tier 2 to 3. Complete this quest and just stay there. Just stay there and cycle like a madman. Heck, if you're, think about that, tier 2, tier 1, and elementals are in, you get Celemental, and you're just like bang, 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 bang. It gets kind of crazy. So Sinfall Medallion can definitely be a lot of fun. Experiment with it and see what you think. It's cool. Kidnap Sack. Spellcraft. Choose a non-golden minion, add it to your hand. basically something in the shop, you target it, you get it for free. It's neat, pretty handy. Enhance Amatic is the start of your turn, get an enhanced part that gives +5/+5 and a random bonus. And this dev comment says the enhanced part is a spell. Random bonuses can be Taunt, Wind Fury, Divine Shield, or Reborn. Now, when it appears in your hand, it's not going to say a random one. It's going to be one of those. So you're going to know you have a +5/+5 and Taunt card. Now, while it is a spell, it does not say Spellcraft, and I don't believe it was. So this can remain in your hand if you want to wait for a good target, because let's say it's a taunt and you have nothing you want to taunt. Keeping that in your hand is completely viable unless they've changed it and it doesn't look like it. Finally, partner in crime, get your golden buddy. Now, depending on the hero, that can be very good or very bad. So I encourage you to, if you don't know buddies at all, maybe take a look at the list of them and see what they might give you. Otherwise, you might want to stay away from this reward, because if your buddy is garbage and you're unaware of that, yeah, you get your buddy and it's gold. So you do also get a triple off it because it's a gold card. But at the same time, if you don't know what it does, it might not be terribly useful depending on the hero you're playing. Just keep that in mind. And finally, a few quests have been removed. In the ones that have been removed, I'm perfectly happy to see them gone. Some a lot more than others. First, we have Teal Tiger Sapphire. Minions in Bob Tavern have +1/+1 each time it's been refreshed this turn. That did have some uses. If you had a recycling wraith and you could kick through a few recycles, and maybe you had demons, you could literally just refresh your entire 10 gold away and then let your Firebat eat the shop. That was a viable way to play, but overall it wasn't that exciting and it really required some goofiness. So I could see why they removed that. Staff of Origination, start of combat, give your minions +12/+12. Well, this is a good buff. It was often way too hard to complete and completely overshadowed by other quests. So typically taking staff meant you were just going to die. It wasn't really worth it. Blood Goblet, another not great one. Happy to see it gone. At the end of your turn, give your rightmost minion attack equal to your missing health. Well, remember, this one existed when our health totals were also 40. So it was a little better. We had less armor, so we'd lose more health faster. Now we have more armor. So this one is certainly not as viable in today's world. I'm happy to see this one go. That's it, folks. Battlegrounds quests start tomorrow. I am super stoked about these quests. I've wanted them to come back for a little bit. I certainly prefer this over the buddy meta. The nice thing about quests are you can get a hero like Reno, who's got a one-shot hero power. But now you can have a quest that can keep you going the entire time, gives you something more to do than just hope you find something good. It's another avenue to win with. So in case your hero power, it just gives you a little tempo, maybe your quest reward gives you the win condition you need. Or your hero power gives you the win condition, so now you just use your quest to give you the tempo. Really depends on the hero and the quest offered to you and whether or not they're viable to do. You can be offered great quests, but if they're not viable to do till turn 10, and your hero power is not going to allow you to get there in a lobby where other people might have tempo and a quest that gives them tempo, you're better off just taking stats and going for a win condition as quick as you can, because you're going to be in trouble if that quest can't be done. So I'm excited. What do you think? Are you excited at quest back? I'm pretty stoked that these were all data mine quests, all the new stuff we had a whole week ago before anybody else did. We knew about them, folks. I'm going to keep digging, trying to find exciting stuff like that so I can give it to you early before anybody else has it. Thanks for watching. I hope you had a good time. I'll catch you out in the Battlegrounds tomorrow. Until then, have a great day. Later.